Good evening, everyone. If you gentlemen would like to take your jackets off tonight, I'm happy for you to do so if you wish. It is a bit warm.
Cool.
Are you gentlemen? No? All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Mayor, for the offer.
That's all right. Just offering. It is a bit warm. Thank you, everyone. On behalf of the Glenelg Shire, I respectfully acknowledge the traditional lands and waters of the Bunditjmara people and their respective cultural heritages. I acknowledge the elders past and present here at today's gathering and through them to all Aboriginal people. The recording of the meeting. To those present in the gallery today, lovely to see you, Frank, all the way from Merino. Must have been a hot drive on the way down. By attending the public meeting of the Council, you are consenting to your image, voice and comments being recorded and published. Council meetings may be live streamed and the Chief Executive Officer will enable a copy of the recording to the public. Receipt of apologies. We have an apology from Councillor Angelino this evening. We'll move on to the confirmation of minutes. There's a recommendation there on page 3. Councillor McDonald.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I'll move that the minutes of the council meeting held on the 16th of December 2025 as circulated be confirmed.
Thank you. A seconder?
Councillor Carr. Madam Mayor.
Any comments?
No.
Been moved by Councillor McDonald and second by Councillor Carr. Those in favour? That's carried. Councillors, we'll move on to 5.2, which is the record of councillor briefings. Councillor McDonald.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I'll move that the council receives the record of the councillor briefing held on the 20th of January 2026.
Thank you. Councillor Noski is second.
Yep.
Any commentary for that?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor McDonald and second by Councillor Noski. Those in favour? Carried. Thank you. Item number 6 is declarations of conflicts of interest. Do we have any conflicts of interest for tonight's agenda? I'll take that as nil. Thank you. Activity reports. Deputy Mayor, Councillor Jarlett, would you like to start?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd start with the first day of the month, last month, the 3RPC radio session that I did. Had a wonderful chat with Les, covering many topics of what's ahead for our council in 2026. What else did we do? A pretty full agenda for the month. Other people may mention this about the civic reception that we went to with the Governor of Victoria, as well as having a chance to speak with her. We had a chance to speak to many other community members that were there. The Hayward District Secondary School presentation evening, had a great time there. Actually got to present a few awards, which I wasn't expecting. I think that should just about cover it.
Thank you. Thank you, Councillor Jarlett. Councillor McDonald.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I would like to make the comment about Professor Margaret Gardner visiting the Governor of Victoria, who gave us a very good hearing and was very impressive in terms of what she was on top of in terms of our region. There were just little tiny gaps that she was sort of looking for some infill in terms of her understanding of what's going on in our region, but she was very interested, very engaged and very forthcoming with any discussion that we were wanting to have with her, so that was very positive. There was a Bondi Massacre Vigil held at the Catholic Church. It was an incredibly moving vigil initiated by Reverend Wendy Moorcroft, who's from the Anglican Church. It was overlooking the harbour outside the Catholic Church. It was very well attended, and Portland local Les Horowitz explained the 8-day Jewish Festival of Lights as in Hanukkah, which they know it as Hanukkah, which was so brutally disrupted at Bondi. The evening was blessed by a rare breeze-free evening for Portland, so we were all actually able to light a candle, so it was a very touching evening. The New Year's Eve celebrations in Portland, extraordinary turnout for the 10 p.m. fireworks. creating actually a bit of a traffic jam up on Bentinck Street, because once they started, everyone just decided they would stop in the best possible position. So all the traffic just stopped for the 15 minutes.
What a good idea.
They all just stopped. So apart from that, everything just seemed to go smoothly. And yeah, there's been lots and lots of positive comments about the fireworks. I know they're contentious for some people, but it was a great joy for families to be able to share that. Thanks, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. I might just touch on a couple of things for Councillor Angelino in his absence. He did a lot last month. He certainly did. He was judging the Youth of the Year for the Hayward Lions Club, and I know he was. That was well received. And he also attended the All Abilities concert with SEMA, and he certainly did the 16 Days of Activism walk against family domestic violence. He also attended the Hayward Rural Health AGM and the Carol service, and then he also accepted the cheque for the L2P new car for Hayward. And he and I did the Hayward Christmas festival on the green just before Christmas. Councillors, I'd just like to perhaps highlight a couple of things beyond that. We also hosted, the Glenelg Shire hosted the Green Triangle in the Splinters and Structures study and the development of the new blue gum engineered wood product and the potential pathway for the opening of the Advanced Timber Hub here in Portland, which is a Portland diversification funding product. Of course, as been mentioned, we've had the Victorian Governor, Margaret Gardner AC here, which was exciting to have her here, and the civic reception, I think, was really, really important for those community volunteers to meet her. She did a tour of the port. We also took her out to Budge Bim, and then she went to Warwick Homestead, planting a tree in the Botanical Gardens. It certainly gave us an insight into the Governor's reach into industry and the opportunities to partner with some of her contacts. There were a number of things that I did throughout the time, whether it was going to Christmas carols or going to Christmas in the Green or the filming of Find My Country Home. That was interesting as well. A number of things, and I thank each councillor for their activities throughout the month of December, which was extremely busy, and of course January has been just a little bit lighter than that. All right, there is a recommendation there on page 14. There's somebody there did you want to make a comment, Councillor Carr, other than the meetings you attended? Did you?
No, Madam Mayor.
I was trying to say, did you fill out anything that you... No? Did you?
Okay.
Where are you? Oh, here you go. Yeah? Councillor Noski?
If I may, Madam Mayor, it's not noted, but
Sorry?
It's not noted in the report, I know, but...
Councillors, these activity reports are really important if you want a record on file of the things that you do. They are online and they are very easily to fill out. If you want to speak to things at the council meeting, can you please ensure that you are filling out your activity reports?
Oh.
These are generated by staff. I do expect that each individual will take that up. Councillor Noski.
I'll take that on. Just commenting on one thing, Anne and I attended the launch of the 26 arts program at the Portland Arts Centre, and we're entertained by Auntie, which is a black drag comedy burlesque show, which was the show put on for the night, and delightful evening. Thank you. And I must say, the program that the arts team has put together for this 12 months coming is exceptional.
Thank you.
Yep.
There's a recommendation on page 14, councillors. Councillor Carr.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I'm happy to move the recommendation. The council notes the councillor activity reports for the 1st of December 25 to the 31st of December 25.
Thank you, Councillor Carr. Councillor Jowett.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any comments, Councillor Carr?
No, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Carr and second by Councillor Jowett. Those in favour? Carried.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry?
I got there.
You got there. Well done. Well done. Notices of motion. There are no notices of motion tonight. We'll move on to management reports. The first one is Councillor's Quarterly Expenditure Report. There is some detail there, and on page 18 there is a recommendation. It's quite straightforward. Councillor Carr.
Yeah, thanks, Madam Mayor. I'm happy to move the recommendation that Council receives the Councillor's Quarterly Expenditure Report for the period 1 October 2025 to the 31st of December 2025.
Thank you. Councillor Pepper, second.
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councillor Carr, procedural.
Procedural, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Carr and second by Councillor Pepper. Recommend the motion as tabled on page 18. Those in favour? That is carried. 9.2, the Quarterly Finance Report. Mr Hall.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This report provides Council with essentially its half-yearly finance outcome. We do have a new format for councillors based on our new IT system being implemented. Some of the key elements there that we'll see that expenditure is tracking pretty much right where we'd expect it. We'd normally expect, say, 50% to be spent by this time of year at the high 40s. Similar with materials and services, which is again one of the biggest expenditures of council. The capital works delivery, whilst that looks low, a lot of that is seasonal, so we wouldn't necessarily expect that also to be 50%. There is a couple of projects in capital works that at the moment it's not sure whether that can be delivered within the 25-26 year and maybe carry forward to 26-27. Infrastructure team are sort of working through that and provide council with an update once we finalise the necessary arrangements with those.
Thank you, Mr Hall. Councillors, you have the report in front of you. Are there any pressing questions for Mr Hall or seeking any clarification? There's a recommendation on page 22. Councillor Jowett.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to move the recommendation that Council, 1, receives the quarterly finance report for the period ending the 31st of December 2025, and 2, notes the additional budget variations that have been incurred for the 2025-26 financial year.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder, please? Councillor McDonald.
Thanks, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Jowett, would you like to make any comment?
No, it's pretty straightforward, Madam Mayor.
Councillor McDonald?
No, thank you.
Okay. No commentary? Okay. I'll put the motion. The motion is as tabled on page 22, moved by Councillor Jowett and second by Councillor McDonald. Those in favour? That is carried. Thank you. Councillors, 9.3 is the Audit and Risk Committee minutes from the 11th of December 2025. Mr Hall.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It's quite a large agenda for the councillors and the independent members in our December meeting. The topics there are listed for council consideration. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Mr Hall. Are there any questions on the minutes? Be comprehensive, Councillor Carr. There's a recommendation there on page 24. Do I have a mover? Councillor Jowett.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to move the recommendation that Council receives the minutes of the Audit and Risk Committee meeting held on the 11th of December 2025.
Thank you. A seconder, please. Councillor McDonald. Thank you. Councillor Jowett.
As it was already mentioned, there was a lot of things on the agenda for that meeting that is all documented. I don't think I need to cover it any further than that.
Councillor McDonald.
Nothing from me, thanks, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Councillors, I'd just like to take a minute, and I really encourage councillors to read these minutes because, as you can see from the agenda here and the number of items that are covered, there's some really good reporting in there in our internal audits. which really is a really good indication. We also have obviously our local government performance reporting framework, we have our asset valuations, we have a number of different opportunities, that audits that we've had, the roads to recovery, the capital works projects, the port's annual report, you name it, it's all there, assets register. There's also some discussion around, you know, what we're doing for cyber security and our penetration testing for our IT. Obviously, we cover the OC health and safety audits and all the other audits that are on our annual charter. And perhaps it's just timely to thank the staff. A really big year last year, and thank you to Mr. Hole. If you could pass on to your staff the work that goes into this, and obviously I also thank the independent members for their assessment and their input to our quarterly meetings. Councillors, the recommendation as tabled on page 24 was moved by Councillor Jawa and seconded by Councillor McDonald. Those in favour? It is carried. Councillors, we'll move on to 9.4, which is a planning application for 38A Richardson Street, Portland. Mr Jackson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Councillors, this application is before Council to seek consideration of an amendment to planning permit P21152.1. The original permit was approved by Council on the 24th of November 2021 and permitted the extension of the Portland Tourist Park at 74 Garden Street, Portland, by 99 cabin lots. The amendment this evening does not reopen or reconsider the previously approved 2021 proposal. Instead, it seeks approval for a limited amendment comprising 7 additional cabin lots, increasing the total to 106 cabins, business identification signage, the incorporation of 38A Richardson Street with 74 Garden Street, and access from Richardson Street to service the additional 7 cabin lots. The public notification period was conducted between the 3rd of June and 18th of June 25, with Council receiving 3 objections in writing, including 1 petition incorporating 21 signatures. As per Council policy, the application has been referred to Council this evening for assessment and determination. Key objections are listed in the Council report. A consultation and deputations were invited and heard by councillors on the 20th of January 2026. Several questions raised by councillors were taken on notice and responded to by the applicant via email received by Council on Friday the 23rd of January and have been attached to this evening's agenda.
Thank you, Mr Jackson. Councillors, as you know, last week we had the proponent and also some residents that spoke with Council, and we listened to the submitters and considered the application. There's been a lot of discussion about this. Are there any further questions in relation to this particular report?
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Could we just clarify for the community, the application says that the access from Richardson Street for the 7 additional cabin lots, however the incorporation of the 2 sites means that there could be access for other cabin sites?
Mr Jackson.
Yep, thank you for the question. That's correct.
Correct, thank you.
Perhaps we could ask what provision within the permit has been made to assess the suitability of that?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I might pass over to our Planning Manager, Matt Berry.
Thank you, Mr Jackson.
Yeah.
Mr Berry.
So thank you, Madam Mayor. So in response to the question, as you may know, the application was submitted a while ago. Part of that delay is because the applicant provided a traffic impact assessment report to consider the traffic of the whole site. And in response to that, the recommendations came out with a proposed traffic management plan that seeks measures to control some of that traffic and also the design of the intersection on Richardson Street.
So a condition is that they submit a further traffic management plan?
Yeah, correct, Madam.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Councillor Pepper.
Madam Mayor, so there was a traffic management plan with the November 21 with 99 units that went to Council, was there?
Not relevant.
We're dealing with a 7-lot subdivision
righto, sorry.
tonight, Councillor Pepper. We need to remember that we need to keep on track and remember that this is the planning application we're dealing with. So I can't answer that question because it doesn't deal with this.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Noski, did you have a question?
Yes, I did. Thanks, Madam Mayor, through you. Mr Berry, so I'm a little confused in that in one breath we have that this is a 7-lot development with access off 38A Richardson Street, but the recommendation is that we actually amend the existing permit to join both 38A Richardson Street and the original development. Is it possible if we pass this recommendation that Council requires that a condition of the recommendation is that access to Richardson Street is limited to the 7 units on 38A Richardson Street?
Mr Berry.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you for your question, Councillor Noski. So, in theory, Council could put a condition restricting the 7 additional units. However, when applying conditions, Council must be mindful, are they justified? Are they legally enforceable? And in terms of having such a specific measure, some of our officer recommendation that it is in our assessment, doesn't tick either of those in terms of the merits, in terms of the infrastructure design manual standards for the vehicles allowed on Richardson Street, allow in its current capacity and design, allow up to 2,500 vehicles movements per day. The current usage is significantly below that, and even if every single, based on the traffic impact assessment provided, even if a large majority of the caravan park did use that road, it would not require, on a merits point of view, under that design standard, to require an upgrade to that road. So that is the question around why now the planning assessment report doesn't view the merits of applying such a condition.
Any further questions, councillors? There's a recommendation now on page 29, councillors, for your consideration. Councillor Carr.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I'm happy to move the recommendation that Council issues a notice of decision to grant an amended permit for use and development of caravan park, including residential village, for 106 cabin lots and business identification signage at 38A Richardson Street and 74 Garden Street, Portland, in accordance with P2 1152.1 amended plans circulated in attachment 1 and P2 1152.1 notice of decision in attachment 7. Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Carr. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Jowett. Councillor Carr.
Yeah, thanks, Madam Mayor. Look, I'm comfortable that the Planning Department has done the correct due diligence in relation to this application. We've got very good information in front of us. There's been very good information and feedback from the residents within that area. There's been a number of solutions also put forward to help manage and mitigate those concerns. So I'm happy to support the officer's recommendation on that basis, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Carr. Does anybody wish to speak against the motion? Councillor Noski.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I understand that the traffic capacity of Richardson Street should be able to manage whatever comes off this as a result of this permit, but my concern is that Richardson Street is a quiet residential street that the residents, in my view, that live there would never have expected that the amenity of their street is going to be impacted by a significant change because of the the combination of 38A Richardson Street and the existing caravan park being joined into one development. In reality, I see it as at least doubling the traffic volumes on Richardson Street and a significant amenity impact on those houses around 38A's access onto Richardson Street. And I believe that we should be not approving this recommendation on the basis of the impact on the amenity to Richardson Street residents that this will create. Thank you.
Councillors. Councillor Jarman, discuss it as a seconder.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Although I have some concerns around the traffic flow and traffic management from this property onto Richardson Street, however, all the information I've been given shows that this development meets all its legislative requirements and that it ticks every box that they need to have it approved. Bottom line is we need more affordable housing in this town, and this development gives us that. But on the other side, no one wants a new development near them. But as I said, it ticks all those boxes, and I can't see any reason why I should be voting against this on that basis.
Thank you, Councillor Jarman. Does any other councillor wish to make a comment? Councillor Pepper.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Look, I've got my reservations about. I can understand what some of the councillors are saying but I just don't like the way that it enters into Richardson Street, and so I've got my concerns about it for the future there, and so yeah, I'm not for it. I'm sorry.
Thank you, councillors. I'll just make a comment. Look, we have been advocating for affordable housing for some time now. It's really important that we are able to seek developers into our communities and be a pro-development council. We have enormous amounts of projects coming our way and big projects, and we're going to need more and more housing. So this is a really important project of this type. Is exactly what we need in the Portland community. And, you know, we listened to the residents of Richardson Street the other day, and, you know, I thank them for taking the time to come and speak with councillors. But, you know, with 23% impact on their traffic assessment, I think that there's plenty of opportunity there for, you know, and the fact that the condition allows for an internal traffic management plan from the developers for this particular application, I think that I feel happy that that will suffice. Is there anything further, councillors? All right, the motion as tabled on page 29 in its entirety, including the attachments list, has been moved by Councillor Carr and seconded by Councillor Jarman. Those in favour? Those against? Councillor Carr, Councillor Jarman and Councillor MacDonald and Councillor Stevens for. Against Councillor Noski and Councillor Pepper. That is carried. 4-2. Thank you. Councillors, there is no urgent business and we haven't received any questions on notice by the close yesterday. And the confidential reports, there's a recommendation there for that, please.
Happy to move the recommendation, Madam Mayor, that we close the meeting to the public.
We're closing the meeting to the